Hey guys,
I'm Bob.
I'm Barb. Together we make up
HetteshWorld.
So the video that you're going to be watching today is a compilation of 3 project videos that Bob has worked on. So Bob, what are the projects that our viewers are going to be watching and learning about today?
Well, first of all, you're going to watch us do our water softener, which we decided we needed on the road. Second, we decided we needed some vent covers for our exhaust fans. And thirdly, we are going to take you through the duct maintenance, which we discovered some issues.
So I want you to know that, like we said, it's a compilation of 3 videos. They were shot with all kinds of various camera equipment because this was all from various times of the...
We were fairly new at the time.
Yeah. So some have no microphone, some were shot with their camera, some the microphone's brand new and you can see it for just a little bit in the video. So sorry about that.
And up on the roof was very high wind that day, so it was...
So with all that said, it's definitely going to be a good video, so you better stay tuned. We're Bob and Barb. We've lived by the rules all of our lives, but in 2020, we threw that rule book out the window. We sold our home and moved full-time into an RV with our cat Amelia, and from now on, we will be living life our way. Don't you want to come travel in our world?
We purchased this after staying in Texas and found out that the water at some of the campgrounds are pretty hard. A lot of campers use this particular model, which we researched and found it on Amazon. It's around the $250 mark. This is actually what they call a double capacity. They make a single, which I've had a couple RVers tell me to get the double. Just you get double life, basically. There is a park model, which is twice the size of this one, which is bigger than we can handle on the camper. But when you first hook this unit up, it does not need regeneration. It's got pellets in here that encapsulates the hard water and holds it into this chamber, just like a water softener at home, but on a smaller scale. So what we have to do after this is no longer making soft water, which we got these test strips that they sent us. It's got a grains per million. And when I checked our water inside the camper, we were back up into the red, so we were at the 400, 500 grains per million. Soft water is anywhere from 0 to 60. That's where we want to stay at. It just makes it better for all the piping inside the camper and our water heater and our dishwasher and all that stuff. And our
Berkey, our jerky
our,
water.
our Berkey and our dishwasher and all that stuff. So we're to the point now where we have to regenerate this unit.
So this video will kind of show you how you do that, because setting up it's easy. You get it out, you hook it up.
Yeah, first time until it needs regeneration, there's nothing needed. So according to how bad the water is starting out, which we're going on our 7th week on this, so that tells you where it needs to be regenerated. So what it tells you to do is we're going to shut off our water source here. We are going to open. We're going to take these lines off. I got to bleed the pressure off of here. And the regeneration process is just strictly through table salt. This is actually this is just Kroger brand, so it's any brand like that. I don't know why we're still got so much pressure.
Oh!
So what we have to do is we have to take this thing, make sure there's no water in it. So what they tell you to do is to take it, disconnect it all. And we do have a pre-filter here. These Camco, everybody uses them in the camper. So what we're doing is we got to drain this down enough to be able to add this salt. There's 2 different methods according to the book. You can either dump it right on the top cap, or you can actually mix it in a little hot water solution and dump it in. So we're going to flip her back over here. So right now the unit's under no pressure, so we have this top cap here. So we're going to take the top cap off. Definitely don't want to take the top cap off if it's got pressure on it. And it does tell you, since if Barb can see here, you can see all the media. That's the media that actually grabs the hardness water. So it tells you to give it a couple taps so that drops down to the bottom. You want to get that to the bottom to where you can add this salt in here. So what we're going to do now, we're going to add the salt. You got the single unit, you'll only use one of these these salts. These are 26 ounces, but on this double you use 2. And it's according to how bad your water is, according to how fast you'll have to regenerate the unit. If you're in a real water's really soft and you test it with a test strip, then you won't need to even hook this up.
Lake Medina in Texas is where we decided to buy this because it was super hard.
Yeah, we found a couple that are really, really bad. So then what we're going to do now is put this top back on. Okay. And then we're going to hook our water back up. So this is our in, that's our out. So we're going to hook to our water source here. What it tells you in the instructions on a double unit, which this is, you're going to run this, we're going to fill this up. Once it starts coming out, you want a pencil-sized stream coming out of here. It says it should just barely clear the body. So that's about what we want right there.
Is it full then?
This has to go for 26 to 30 minutes on this pencil-sized strip. We'll come back, we'll time lapse, and we'll show this, and then we'll come back, and then we have to full flow it for 6 minutes. Further review, I just wanted to let everybody know on the salt, you can use iodized or non-iodized salt. Either one will work on this unit. So the 24 to 30 minutes that we were supposed to run on a pencil-sized stream is completed. So that part is done. Now what we have to do, they want more of a full flow for 6 to 8 minutes for the double capacity unit. So we're going to set that up. We'll test the water and see if our water is soft again. Step is what it tells you to do is actually taste the water. So we're going to give it a little bit of a taste test to see if I got a toothache or anything. No salt at all. One other thing I just wanted to remind you that if you're going to have this model here, if you're going to it says every 3 to 5 months you should do a back flush. So you would hook your inlet to your outlet and push it backwards. So you just push the water backwards and that just flushes out the unit. And then you just do your regeneration when the water gets off the scale. But we're going to test it right now too. We're going to get one of our test strips. So what we're going to do, before this was bright red, this was over 400 grains per million. So we're going to put a little bit in the cup. We're going to dip it in. And it says for 3 to 5 seconds underwater, as you see. Nice, and if you look at the chart here, we are on the bottom scale. So from the beginning, 0 to 60, they call soft water. From 0 to 60 is soft. We were somewhere between the 400 and the 1000. This is our on-the-go water system.
Highly recommended.
Highly recommended. Today we're going to vent covers to our fans. I'm sorry for the noise. We got the air conditioner on right now. We actually got these from Camping World. They were the most reasonable, even though I don't care for Camping World. But you can get these in 3 colors. You can get them in white, black, or the smoked. And we got the smoked because we want to let a little light still come in the covers here. The reason why we're putting these in is because when you're wanting to run your fan during rain, this has got a rain sensor on it and it closes the fans. So this is to protect them from the rain, so we can run these when it's inclement weather. First thing we're going to do is we're going to find the mounting screws from the factory. So this trailer is fairly new, so we can see them right there. I can rub the die core right off of them. These are going to mount like this. That's going to accept this guy here, and then it's going to get a little spring clip right there to hold this in place. I'm going to tear some of this die core out of here so we got a good surface area, and I'm just marking this with this. We're going to scrape some of this up.
To entertain you while we're up here, Barb is on the roof. Barb doesn't like being on the roof.
Yeah, it's a very, very windy day today that I chose to do this, but sometimes you can't pick the weather.
Well, and while he's doing that, our weather station is there, so I'm nervous about getting up on the roof anyway, but then the weather station's right there on top of it.
So we're just going to remove most of this die core so this mounting cover can
can fit in there. We're gonna re-glue it in place. We got die-core lap sealant. We got a razor knife. We got some latex gloves. We got a scraper.
So now we'll do this side.
We're gonna mark this one. Yeah, all four corners will get these. They put very little lap sealant. Sometimes some of the campers I've seen they go crazy with the lap sealant, but maybe because this is new and was done from the factory, it's not been. You want to cut these, but you don't want to cut into your actual rubber roof or anything. I'm just trying to make this die core come out of here, and it's pretty pliable, like I said, because the camper's pretty new. Where you're going to want these if you're going to be, in the rain and stuff, and you want to have these vents open. We noticed that on our first trip, pouring down rain, and we couldn't run these.
Yeah, we try to run the vents when we're cooking and stuff because we don't want to add any extra moisture and stuff into the house.
So we're going to run these screws out. Now that we have all four of those corners, I'm going to use some of this lap sealant and cleaner. It's a cleaner and primer, so we can get a good adhesion with the die core. Put it up on the roof a little bit. This roof pretty clean because the camper's new, but just in case there's some extra dirt. I just want to seal these holes back up, so we're going to put some die core down these holes.
Why do you do that if you just opened it up?
Well, we want to
then you got to put a screw in there.
We got to seal these and nothing gets back down in here.
But how do you get the screw back in there?
I'll find the hole. Now we're going to take one of these factory screws in a washer they supply you with.
It's a very windy day. We're trying to keep the gloves from blowing off the roof.
We actually got two of these on the roof.
We almost lost our vent. It tried to blow off the roof. Bad vent, bad.
These here, you want to make sure these are up because these are going to be up like this. You can accept that haul. And these are adjustable in case they're off a little bit. You can slide them around.
Barb can film and hold the vent. She can do it all.
Yeah. This stuff here is self-leveling, so it will seek a level. If you ever been up on a camper roof, you'll see this stuff everywhere. It looks nasty. First time I went up on one, I was like, holy smoke. It's like somebody screwed it up, but it's what they do.
I like things to look pretty and neat, and that is not something that happens with this stuff.
All right, now we're going to finish up with this side here. Just trying to get it down in that screw hole there so it doesn't find its way in on a rainy day. Once you get this snapped into here, then you got to put these little clips on the front here. That's so you can still access these, pull these out and service. Of course, you want this toward the back of the camper because you're going to be going down the road. This is aerodynamic, so go over top of things. There. These are so you can slide them too. Then you got these little spring clips that will go on here.
So he feels that they should have a washer just to make it more stable, adding the washer. It's not part of the kit requirements.
Well, I mean, I use those washers down below. I'm not sure, but it needs a washer down below to hold that bracket.
We've added washers underneath that weren't normally required, and we've added them on top just to make it extra secure. So they don't go all the way through, they just stay at the little hump in the middle.
Well, it don't really matter. I mean, it's a simple job. Just take your time, clean up if it's an older camper, make sure you clean the lap sealant up real good. And then make sure you put enough lap sealant back. Just for anybody's concerns about the height on these, since this camper's 13.4 in height, these are 11 inches, and the AC units are 11 inches, so you're not gaining any height by putting these on your camper, just for anybody that has that concern.
We're going to go ahead and install the next, and then we're just going to do that in time-lapse so you can see it, and then I think you recommend it. It seems like it's going to work, so we'll have to let you know down the road what we think about it. works just fine.
I'm going around today.
He's cleaning, yeah.
My little job is to pull down these returns. Well, these are the dumps and these are the returns. I'm pulling these down, I'm cleaning these off, but as I reach up into this racetrack, I'm feeling where there's some spots where it's not sealed real well. So I'm going back behind it with some aluminum tape and making sure, because that if an air escapes out of ductwork, it's just going to go up inside your attic. I haven't found too many problems, but this is like the third one I've put a little extra aluminum tape on. So I'm peeling it back and just going up into this edge where I can feel it where it's flopping around. Plus it makes some noise, that air running through there. And I'm just taking it, holding it down, pushing it down tight, running around.
Yep, another part of just making the camper our own and making it better.
Yep.
I mean, we understand that it's a camper, it's an RV, but it's our home, so we want it to be like a home.
I don't know, you can call it preventative maintenance or whatever, but...
Yeah, we're starting a spreadsheet on all that stuff. The things that need to be, we need to do them and when they need to be done. I'm OCD on organization, so here, in case you haven't noticed, I'm OCD on organization as I'm working on my stuff down there today. So we wanted to tell you, he's pulling out these vents.
Yeah, these are the returns. There's a lot of just debris from when the camper was built. But if you look up inside of this one here, you can see that there's a hole.
Oh.
There's a hole right there. So that air is escaping up into the ceiling and not coming out, and you know, or it's pulling air out of this hot attic space. So I'm gonna put a little piece of aluminum tape up there and block that off.
So when you get your new camper, you should definitely do this first. Get them out, clean them, because I don't know how much sawdust I have found.
Yeah, every time we move down the road, you figure these things are being built. They're in here cutting and scraping, and so every time we go down the road, like the cabinets,
yep,
the ceiling, stuff, sawdust just falls out from everywhere.
Because before we leave, I sweep really well, and then when I get somewhere, I vacuum and then I mop. Because, like he said, there's sawdust, and that area down there, underneath that glass door, is always full of sawdust. I don't know when it's going to stop falling through.
Besides doing the vents up on top, where we found some openings in the ductwork, this is our kitchen. This is our kitchen register here. And I closed this off already some, but you'll see is if Barb can shine the camera down here, and we're going to insert a picture. But this is a big opening right here. That's supposed to be boxed off. And then back in here further is a little drop that drops into the basement area. And that was almost all sealed off with tape.
It's like they put it in the wrong place or something.
Well, they sealed it quickly and not. So those are the kind of things you want to look for when you pull these registers. We're pulling them out to vacuum them out because of all the construction debris gets down in there.
Construction debris.
So we're getting them out, and I'm just taking a flashlight, shining down inside the ductwork to see.
We've got a picture that we're going to insert down in there because you took a picture.
Yeah, it's,
we're got the picture. We have a picture that we will insert, so you can see.
Just something you want to check for, like when you take your top registers out and your floor registers out, to make sure that the ductwork is completed with aluminum tape.
And I do try not to sweep things in there because it's, got the little grate cover. I try to sweep around it. But so there's probably some stuff from us in there, but most of that is.
Yeah, I'm just taking some aluminum tape and then covering this hole back up right here. And I got one little spot there. It still has to be covered up, but that ductwork is supposed to be a run without. Otherwise, it's just shooting air down inside of inside the crawl space or something.
You just have to make your camper the most efficient you can make for you.
Yeah, I mean, this is strictly for the furnace, and if you watch videos, they talk about these registers being the floor, where some will put them out of the cabinets, but they say this is the most efficiently because these run straight down through the camper. So you got one in the living room, one in the bathroom, one in the bedroom. So, and it's a straight run, so it's made to be more efficient with having a straight duct. And then if you're going up to no cabin, of course, you got to come up and you lose velocity of the air. So dirt does, you get down in there, definitely a lot of construction work, but this right here is just negligence on the builders who assembled. So
now let's do a wrap up. Bob, We have had the water softener since January, I believe. So what do you think? How is it working?
It's working great. I mean, like we said in the video, sometimes we normally get, I would say, 4 weeks out of the double water softener, double capacity. So very few times we've ever had to do it more than once a month. It just takes you about a half an hour or so to do the regeneration. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah, every time we get to a campground, we check it.
So every time we do get to a campground, we do run the test strips to see what the water's like.
And the water is so-so at most campgrounds. In Texas, we encountered a couple that were just super, super harsh. So that's why we added it. And the one thing that is not in the video that we learned since then is that there's a little filter in top when you take the lid off that you can actually just pull that filter out and pour your salt in.
It makes it a lot easier. We didn't think we were going to need a water softener until we got to Texas and found what really hard water is.
Medina.
Yeah. So that's it.
For me, I love it. I mean, we have a water filter, a water softener, and then even in here I have the Berkey. So it's incredible. I'm very happy with it. Very happy with it. It's good on my hair also as well when we're taking showers in here.
Yeah, we don't have water spots, so that's awesome.
So the second project we did was we added the vent fan covers to the top of our RV. So how are those working out for us?
They're working out great. I would have thought that the factory would have put them in there, but I guess they didn't because they got the rain sensors on them. Some of them don't come with rain sensors. If you didn't put an exhaust fan on right away, as soon as you turned it on, it sensed that humidity, and all of a sudden it would close the door. So once we put those on, and we got rid of that problem. But the other thing we found that if it's raining and we're wanting to cook in the kitchen,
which we like to do.
Rain would hit that sensor, and you're without exhaust fan, so you're dumping that all into your home. So it worked out great for us. We love them.
So we're very happy with it. I'm very happy with it also. So the third project, which was interesting when we got into it, was we do preventive maintenance on our rig all the time, and Bob is putting together a good checklist for all that, which we'll share with you shortly. But on the duct work, you found these issues. How's it been since you have fixed them?
Yeah, this was probably maybe 2 to 3 months into having the RV. We decided to go through our returns and our dumps for our ACs. And then we also wanted to go through the floor registers just to look, and we figured out sometimes the floor registers get a little debris in them.
Yeah.
So as we investigated those, we found out it wasn't taped off quite as well as it should have been from the factory.
Yeah.
So
which is confusing. I feel that should be complete, at least for sure.
And I know in my former job, I know that the returns and your duct work makes a huge difference on the performance of either the furnace or the AC.
Yeah.
So we got up there, and when I started shining a flash, I could reach up there with my hands. I could actually feel that the duct work was just not. It was there, but it was not completed with the aluminum tape. So we went back, fixed all the spots, and there were several. I mean, there was probably at least 8 or 9 of them out of the camper that needed some kind of attention with some tape.
So I'm very happy with it. I feel like everything runs and flows a lot more smoothly now that that's all been taken care of. So we hope that you liked our little mini project video that we have today. We have a big surprise behind us that you cannot see because I'm in the way. That video will be coming out soon, hopefully. Please give us a thumbs up. Please comment. We enjoy reading the comments, and our subscribers who we currently have that are so amazing. Thank you guys. We really love talking to you guys. Hit that notification bell because you want to know when we're putting out another fun video.
Please share with your family and friends on our channel because we do want it to grow some.
We're trying to get to 1,000. We need help.
We're trying to get to 1,000. And we're trying to do it right. We're not doing negativity and all that stuff. So we're trying to make it.
That's right. No bikini pictures of Bob are going to go up on this counter.
That's right.
We're not going to be
You're
promoting
never going to see
that way.
You're not going to even see Bob in a Speedo.
If we do an angry picture or something, it's because we're really angry about what's going on. So there's going to be no
negative titles.
Yeah, no fake stuff.
Yeah.
And that is what you want to share with your friends, that we're true and honest.
Yep.
So remember, we're HetteshWorld.
Come travel in our world.
Bye.